between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in off a loss last time out, but still in the midst of a great season, winners of 8 of their last 10. On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. We were just talking about him pregame, 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there, another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described, and I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball, and that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Jameis to throw it. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The first down throw for Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's taken down inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They go play action. Winston. This will be caught inside the 10. And he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Prescott. Caught on the right side by Adams. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 4 catches, 62 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Prescott looks to throw on first. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, it's Hines. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Hines. 11 more on that one, and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now Prescott. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. Wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
All day, dog.
Prescott from the gun. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 42.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense. That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
47. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike. Here we go. 26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They begin things in much better field position than their opening drive as they come up 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Prescott. The left side throw complete to Adams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. We're scoreless after 1. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargreaves with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Winston. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The 2nd down throw for Winston. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And Philip Dorsett holds it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn into big plays.
Winston connecting with Howard. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down now, it's Coleman, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 25-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rush will just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
54, right there, 54.
Prescott to throw it. Making the catch is Sternberger. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up first down, too.
Prescott now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. To the air again, Prescott. He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Winston now. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Ready? Blue wave. 50 seconds. Come on. Wild Bill.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
We're going to 54. Wide in. Quick edge. Come. 26.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Skate situation. Let's go.
This is Hines. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
Here we go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Gun. Check Mike, 54. Here we go, 46. Let's go. We got this. We got 46.
On 1st down, it's Hines. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Play action now. Prescott going for the deep ball. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Miles Boykin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. With them losing here in the 2nd quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I said just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not 4 verts? One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right of the yard. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To the air again with Winston. Coleman has it here right side.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They tried to throw on second down. Unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Winston. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Come on, man. Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of
pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Prescott. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Breaking that one up was Justin Evans. Read it perfectly. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half. Prescott. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They run again with Hines. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And the return will stop right around the 25. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Coleman, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Delano Hill. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll run on first down. Hines. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards the pickup. First down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mike 54. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you crazy.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Got a man. It's Tanyan complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Go, get out there, get out there. 45 the mic.
They run with Hines. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Right 54. Go. Go. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Tighten up. Here we go, 46. 46.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though.
We're going to 53.
On second down, it's Hines. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Nyheim Hines, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
That time a 6-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Let's go.
From the gun, Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Off the play fake, Winston. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
I'm coming back.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Play action now, Winston. Well, the pressure gets to him again.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Elsewhere at Arrowhead there in the 3rd quarter. The Jets have just scored, so they've taken the lead in that ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They begin the drive with Hines. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Kill. Slam.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hines, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 3rd down, it's Hines, and he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 6 yards in the 1st down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Come get some. Go to 54. Go to 54. Line in. He don't want it. Under 10. Under 10.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Prescott to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Rush in, good.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down.
I got you. Check 45.
Again, it's Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And they try to sweep to Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And Jones is not going to have the 1st down as they stop him short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns. Now it's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with 1 complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
To throw is Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But
got him there open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later? Pretty
clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends. And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team. Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Come on, QB, come on.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Winston caught on the right side by Dorsett. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Winston now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One set.
3rd and long for Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on for the 5th time here today.
Let's go.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, a broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part, because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Ah, yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Prescott from the gun. And now Prescott is going to be taken down. He couldn't get away, and that's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Evans has it left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down. Now Winston. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. After the sack on first down, Winston. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way. Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been a man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now the Packers get set to go. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
27. Watch the edge. Let's go. Come on. Here we go, 47. 54. 26.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Throwing here, Prescott is going to fire one deep, middle of, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's Winston. This one to Bourne out on the left side. That throw good for 4. It's second down. On play action, Winston. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Working out of the gun, Winston. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on fourth down. Winston to throw for it on 4th. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the dream scenario, you hope. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Buccaneers have it. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward,